At this stage, I'd like to place wiretaps and surveillance cameras in both households.
Not
I have to make sure there's no evidence left on this computer, just in case someone goes through it.
It seems like you're pretty skilled with your hands. I bet you're pretty popular with the girls, aren't you?
Skill has nothing to do with it.
And make sure you install them everywhere. I don't want any blind spots in the house, and that includes the bathroom.
Ooh.
That was my intention.
Come on, Chief. You don't have to agree to this.
Having someone sit there with a bird's eye view of me on the can. Like, I can't even wash my ass without somebody zooming in on my taint. Like,
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Death Note, Season 1, Episode 8, Glare. That boy Light, man, sending that girl into the pits of hell like that is cold-blooded. When his time comes, I can't really say I'm gonna feel bad for him because he's a villain right now, bro. Let's get into it. Should have stayed killing criminals.
you got a little too cocky.
You know?
That was footage from surveillance cameras at the station. The death of one of the FBI agents is captured on here.
Let's see the following scenes again. Ray Penber passing the ticket gate on his way in, then him boarding the train, and finally the part where he dies on the platform.
Okay, let's see.
His ice cream.
I think it's next to that.
Oh, here it is.
So based on the records I have here, Ray Penber comes through the west entrance of Shinjuku Station at 3:11 p.m. Then at 3:13, he boards a train on the Yamanote line. But even if he was following someone at that time, I think it's going to be very difficult for us to draw any real conclusions from this blurry video. Then at exactly 4:42 p.m.
That sugar rush to
thank
keep
you very
him
much,
awake.
Watari. And at 4:42 p.m., he exits the train at Tokyo Station and dies on the platform.
It's quite strange, don't you think?
I'm sorry, what do you find strange?
Yeah, what is it? Did you notice something?
We know that Ray Penber got on the train, and then an hour and a half later he got off and died on the platform. But the Yamanote line only takes an hour to complete its circuit. And more importantly, there's the envelope.
What do you mean?
He's holding what looks like an envelope when he passes through the ticket gate.
Huh? You're right. It's there under his arm. But in the footage right before his death, it's gone. I can't believe you actually caught that.
Well, I don't see an envelope on this list of his personal effects.
Which means it was left on the train. And if you watch closely at the very end here, it seems like he's straining to look inside the train before the doors close. You can see right here.
If that's the case, do you think it could mean something?
Like,
Wouldn't it
just
be interesting
flexing
if
on
Kira was on
motherfuckers,
that
bro.
train?
That's impossible.
His
I admit
cocky
I find it
ass.
hard to believe as well. There's no reason for Kira to come to the scene of his own crime when he can kill from a distance. Well, maybe he was counting on us to make that assumption and figured he could get away with such a bold move.
I love that old guy.
What's going on with you, Light? You haven't stopped writing criminals' names in the Death Note for 4 days straight, so what are you trying to prove? I don't see the point in writing these names weeks in advance. I've never seen the Death Note used like this.
Consider it insurance. Suppose the son of the detective superintendent of the NPA was hospitalized. If criminals stopped dying at the same time, it wouldn't be difficult to connect the two.
So that's what this is.
Are you sure that I can use any date as long as it's before the end of a person's predetermined lifespan?
Well, I can't guarantee it because we Shinigami don't normally work that way, but I suppose any time before the end of their lifespan should work.
I really can't count on you, can I?
You got that right.
That's me when you ask me, hey, you want to
Yes,
do
would
something?
you please hold for a moment? Ryuzaki, it's Yukita at the NPA. He says he's on the phone with someone from the tip line who has information for us.
Right. Then give Yukita the number for line 5 and ask him to have the informant call that line instead. It'll be safer that way. Mr. Matsuda, it's okay for you to turn on your cell phone now. Actually, please turn it on right away.
Sure.
Yes, this is Suzuki, head of Kira's Investigation Public Information Division.
Not even changing.
Ray Penber's fiancée. Naomi Misora. Heard that name before. So it's her. She's from the Los Angeles baby murder case. That's right. She was working under me. I guess she must have come to Japan with her fiancé.
See,
Well,
she would
apparently
definitely
she's been
got
missing
in.
since the day after her fiancé died.
I'm sure that anyone in her situation would be pretty depressed. Was it suicide?
No, the Naomi Misora I knew was strong. Not to mention she was also an excellent FBI agent. If anything, it's more likely she'd be trying to catch Kira. It appears she came to Japan with Penber. It's possible that she may have found a lead. If that's the case, did Kira manage to get to her first? Everyone, at this point I'd like to focus our investigation on only those people who Ray Penber was tailing. In particular, he was assigned to 2 police officers and those closest to him.
Very well. Who are these 2 individuals he was investigating?
Deputy Director Kitamura, along with Detective Superintendent Yagami and their families. At this stage, I'd like to place wiretaps and surveillance cameras in both households.
Not
I have to make sure there's no evidence left on this computer, just in case someone goes through it.
Yo,
Now I
again,
just have to hide
watching
these
these
clippings
two
from the death
and the way
note.
how they're moving, like literally one
It
step.
seems like you're pretty skilled with your hands. I bet you're pretty popular with the girls, aren't you?
Skill has nothing to do with it. It's your
A
looks
little
that
tickle,
count.
little tickle.
I'm guessing you're not that popular, are you?
Surveillance cameras?
No, he'd be
Ryozaki?
I don't see
slaying
how you could even
Shinigami
consider
plus.
this. If this got out, we'd have a civil rights scandal on our hands. We'd all lose our jobs.
You told me you'd be willing to risk your lives for this investigation, but you wouldn't risk your jobs?
Ryuzaki, what are the odds that Kira's in one of those households?
Maybe 10%. No, it's closer to 5%.
Seriously? I'm sorry, but it's not worth the risk.
No. Of all the people we've investigated so far, not one of them seemed even the least bit suspicious. Even if there's only a 1% chance, we simply can't afford to ignore it.
Chief?
I don't have to tell you how offended I am to learn my family is under suspicion. Having said that, just go ahead with it. And make sure you install them everywhere. I don't want any blind spots in the house, and that includes the bathroom.
Thank you very much. That was my intention.
Come on, Chief. You don't have to agree to this.
Having
Yes,
someone
he's right.
sit there with
Think
a
about
bird's
your
eye view of
family.
me
You
on the
have a wife and daughter
can.
at
Like,
home, don't
what?
Yes, I'm well aware of that fact.
Can't even
There
wash
is
my
no point
ass
in doing any
without
of this if
somebody
we can't be
zooming
thorough.
in on my
No, I
taint.
suggest
Like,
you keep quiet.
Bro, and he has a daughter too. Like,
I'm sorry. No, it's okay. Excuse me.
As a courtesy to the chief and his family, only he and I will conduct surveillance of their home. Watari, how long will it take to prepare the wiretaps and cameras we need?
Well, starting tomorrow, I can set them up at any time, provided we know when both houses will be empty.
See you later, Light.
Yeah, see you tomorrow. What? No one's home yet. I'm home.
it's the shittiest camera quality I've ever seen in my motherfucking life.
keep in mind, this is back in
Recording
the
this on a
90s.
moldy potato?
How's it going? I don't think anyone else is in the house right now. Do you want to play some video games? Come on, it's been a while. You listening? Hey, Light.
I don't believe it. I never knew he went to such great lengths. What could he be hiding in there that he doesn't want anyone else to see?
For a 17-year-old kid, I wouldn't say this kind of behavior is particularly abnormal. When I was his age, I did strange things too. Have you ever talked to your son about the investigation?
Of course not. I've never once revealed classified information to my family. Besides, I don't get to see them too often these days, and usually as soon as I get home, all I can do is sleep.
I understand.
Where exactly are we going? Light, don't ignore me when I'm talking to you or I'll get mad. Huh?
Doesn't look like these clothes have been bugged. I think we're safe. Listen to me. There's a very strong possibility that there are wiretaps and maybe surveillance cameras hidden throughout my house.
Really? But that piece of paper was still in your door, wasn't it?
That's true, but I left the paper in the door in a way that it would be obvious to anyone entering the room. The real test is the handle.
It is?
When that door is closed, the door handle automatically returns to a horizontal position and it won't go any higher than that. But whenever I close the door, I adjust it slightly. Instead of letting it sit horizontally, I lower it by about 5 millimeters.
No,
When I
fam.
get home and I try to open the door, if the handle is all the way up, I can be fairly certain that someone was in my room.
And that tells you there's cameras?
That alone doesn't tell me if my door was actually opened. So I put a mechanical pencil lead in place as well.
So what do you do with it?
It goes on the hinge. After I close the door, I take the pencil lead and rest it on the hinge in such a way that it will break if the door happens to be opened by anyone. Normally, I'd take it out myself when I get back home. When I got home from school today, I noticed that the pencil lead was broken.
Now that you mention it, I do remember that.
First the door handle, then the lead. I know someone was in there today.
Maybe it was your mother.
My family wouldn't have noticed the piece of paper. What's suspicious is that someone took the time to put it back in the door.
Hi there. Can I help
The
you?
fact that he knew
What's
that
this all
meant there was
about? Are you
cameras
buying a
is
book about
crazy.
wiretaps and surveillance so you can figure this mess out?
By the way, Ryuk, what about your apples?
Apples? That's right, surveillance cameras. Once the apple's in my mouth, no one can see it. But while I'm holding it, it looks like it's floating.
I thought so. You told me that Shinigami can't die, so I guess it won't kill you to stop eating apples for a while.
Don't you think that's a bit much? Come on. I never told you this, but apples are to me what cigarettes and alcohol are to humans. Do you see what I'm saying? I even get withdrawal symptoms.
Oh yeah? What kind of symptoms?
My body gets all twisted. I do handstands. It's not pretty.
I don't need to see that.
I know.
Okay, here's the thing. Unfortunately, I already gave Elle the hint that Shinigami love apples, so I just can't afford to take the risk.
When did you...
If it's so important for you to eat apples, you'll have to find out where all the cameras are hidden. If you're lucky, you might find a blind spot where you can eat them without being seen.
He's using him.
Let's go.
Yeah, a camera search. Sounds so interesting.
Oh man. Using a dead god to do your dirty work is crazy. It's just a matter of whether or not they're actually going to be able to find all of the video and audio. Because if you hear him talking to himself, then we're like, okay, this guy's... What the? Not you.
Oh, I
Not
have to
you,
find the
Batman
cameras.
trying to get a sniffy.
I can't believe my son is looking at those magazines.
It's normal for a 17-year-old. But it seems contrived. It's too obvious. The only reason he didn't want anyone in his room was because he had these magazines. That's what he wants us to think.
Hey, that's my son you're talking about. Are you honestly telling me that you suspect him?
I do suspect him. That's why I placed wiretaps and surveillance cameras in your house and the deputy director's house.
I found a camera in the air conditioner.
So they really put cameras in here. They must have bugged the place as well. Even if this is the Kira case, I didn't think the Japanese police would ever go this far. This must be Elle's idea, which means they've narrowed down their list of suspects.
On camera,
By
just
now, they
not
must
to
have
the
figured out
naked
that it was
eye.
someone who Ray Pember was investigating, or they wouldn't have gone to all this trouble.
I actually went to buy a nudie mag just for this particular day.
Man, these covers mislead
Well,
you
my
all the
thing is,
time.
what if he pulls out his piece? It's not
In the
ru-
situation,
no
it's
little
safer
rub
if I
dog
just
action.
assume I'm their prime suspect and the only one being watched. It'll be okay. Luckily, I prepared for this kind of situation.
Imagine your dad watching you stroke your meat.
I love you.
The hell is it?
Always.
That kind of looks like the girl, huh? Ray Pember's wife.
Hideki Ryuga! I swear he's perfect! How come no one in my class is like that?
Sayu, just eat your dinner.
I'll eat later.
Hello, Mr. Aizawa. Are the Kitamuras watching television now?
Yes. He's not home, but the other four are watching while they eat dinner. It's Channel 4.
Watari, Please contact the broadcasters and tell them to play our message.
Very well. Understood.
That's right. My parents met
Huh?
George Martin.
What's this? ICPO? They're saying that in response to the Kira murders, Interpol has decided to dispatch a force of 1,500 investigators to Japan. The investigators were drawn from the law enforcement agencies of its member nations. 1,500 investigators? Whoa.
Chances are they've got cameras in the living room as well. Regardless of whether this news is real or not, it's obvious they're just trying to evoke reaction from me. Hell, this is the exact same trick he used last time. The ICPO sure is stupid.
Huh?
I mean, there's no point in making this announcement. If they're gonna send all these people here to investigate, shouldn't they keep it a secret?
Even the FBI agents who were secretly investigating were killed by Kira. Why would this be any different? If you ask me, this is nothing more than a desperate attempt to shock Kira in the hopes that he'll reveal himself somehow. Quite frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if Kira sees right through this.
You just fucked up.
Your son's clever.
You just fucked
isn't
up,
he?
boy.
Well, yes.
Thanks for dinner, Mom.
Huh? You're eating a bag of chips? You just had dinner. Your good looks are gonna go down the drain if you keep that up.
It's a late-night snack for studying.
That's what you say to me after I finish dinner. You just ate dinner.
Well, because you take your last bite and then you say, you should get me a snack.
I guess Shinigami.
You just
gets
ate
hired
4
when they work
chicken
hard.
breasts.
Now,
Why
let
do
me
you eat a
explain
snack?
what they all are. It's a little bit complicated, so listen up. There's nothing I hate more than explaining something twice.
All right, it's time for me to hit the books.
There sure are a lot of cameras in this room. I counted 64 in total. I guess whoever put them here expected you to at least find some of them.
It has to be L. He had no qualms about putting a death row inmate in his place when he declared war on me. It's pretty clear he doesn't know any limits.
What I want to know is how am I going to be able to eat apples?
Obviously, that's impossible now, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I guess you can't talk in here. But we'd better discuss this outside tomorrow.
Okay, I think I'm getting the hang of this now. Judging by the number of cameras he's planted, he's planning to make a decision within a short period of time. Any normal person would slip under these circumstances, but it won't be that easy with me, L.
You made a lot of
This
mistakes.
is the closest you get.
What the fuck?
I've set things up so that criminals will continue to die over the next 3 weeks. But L is aware by now that Kira can control the times of death of his victims. Therefore, to avoid suspicion, L needs to see that criminals whose names are being broadcast continue to die while I have no access to that information.
Oh, the symptoms are starting!
I'm gonna show you, L.
Yeah.
Love her.
With Ryuk's information and my preparations,
That,
I
like,
can continue to
32
kill
hours she
criminals
made it
whose
before
names
she
are
started
broadcast on the news,
cigarettes.
while masquerading as a
She was
typical
so
high
pleasant
school
after that.
student studying for his entrance
Oh,
exams.
this fucker had a bag of chips
watch
with
me,
her
Al.
TV in
I'll solve
there.
equations with my right hand and write names with my left.
What? He's writing the names in the...
I'll take a potato chip
Bro,
and eat it.
again, everything that this guy does is so methodical, is crazy. Like, he's so fucking good. If only he wasn't so fucking evil, man.
After dinner, your son just goes back to studying without turning on the TV or his computer?
It's because the entrance exams are 5 days away.
Now, a criminal who I should have no knowledge of will die of a heart attack in 40 seconds. And the witness to my alibi is L himself. All right, just a little bit longer.
So good. So very good.
Ryuzaki.
Yes, what is it, Watari?
A few minutes ago, a bank clerk being questioned on suspicion of embezzlement and a purse snatcher being held in a detention center were broadcast on the news. They both just died of sudden, inexplicable heart attacks.
It's him again.
While all that was happening at your home, your wife and daughter were watching television. When that was over, they turned the TV off and didn't watch anything afterwards. From just past 7:30 until now, 11 o'clock, your son's done nothing but study. Kira needs a name and a face. Without those, he can't kill. So I suppose anyone who didn't watch the news can't be Kira, right?
You said it yourself. That means my family has been cleared.
It doesn't make sense that Kira would kill two petty criminals right after their identities were broadcast. I know it's only the first day after the cameras were installed, but the Yagami household seems almost too innocent to me.
He wants it to be Light so badly, bro.
Light, are you
I know, but he's like
Yeah, I'm
fixated on him.
Today's garbage day, so if you've got any, bring it down with you, okay?
What a pain.
What are you talking about? You usually say there's no need to remind me, Mom.
Yeah.
What is his TV? Hopefully there's riches, bro.
Another beautiful day.
Well, I can't say for sure whether you're extremely generous or just a spoiled brat. But didn't that mini LCD TV cost you $400?
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm not throwing my TV in the garbage like that, bro. But I guess small price to pay for your life and your freedom and your innocence, I guess. Thoughts? No, nothing.
There goes your 400.
All right,
Like,
just like that one YouTube.
sucks.
That's crazy. But hey, if he clears his name, hey, anything is worth it.
I guess so.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, we'll catch you in the next one. Leave me your thoughts in the comments. I'm out.